what good am I?
Wow.
Like, what do you do when you get that? Like, what good am I? Like, what am I even doing here? Welcome to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered, where we talk life, love, and business. This is DeAndre, and we have a special episode. You know, we get all the fellas together and some familiar faces, new faces, but just go around and introduce yourselves. And we start with Wade.
I'm Wade. Wade Hampton Jr., Master Barber, State of Ohio. Working alongside of this great man right here.
Boston?
Oh,
Talking about greatness.
the GOAT in the game.
GOAT, for sure.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know what they talking about.
He the reason why my haircut stay looking so good.
Crispy.
Keelan Bilal, owner of Excalibur Barber LLC and all the entities within. Again, work right beside my guy here, Brother Wade Hampton. This is the they say next in line, but I think he already been there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he been walking on that line for a long time. So
That's right. My guy.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm happy to be here. I'm Boston Walker, owner of Still Valley Moving. And I got the pleasure to share the stage with a lot of great men here today. I'm excited to get started.
That's what's up, man. We happy to have you here. Hey, man, we about to talk about something that we all feel is important. Me and Wade was chopping it up. Wade was like, man, yo, this convo need to happen. When we talk about mental health, capitalizing the MEN into that, because no knock on our sisters and, you know, the women, but I feel like there's an event every other day of a woman's empowerment joint, and they are uplifting one another, and that's great. And there's always so much talk about women's mental health, mainly due to us fellas, is usually the cause of these events.
So they say.
Yeah,
So they say.
But we know it's a lot more than that. We just, we just become the punching bag.
Accountability has to be held at some point.
You know what I'm saying? No shade. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and in that human race, men do in fact fit into the picture, because as I love to share with my kids and, the world, if y'all listen to the podcast, y'all know nobody would be here if it wasn't for us anyways. You know what I'm saying? We carry the seed, we carry the seed, so our well-being.
Talk crazy to them.
And mentality is just as important. We'll go ahead and just call it equals just for the sake of the argument. But we just talking, so we just talking some men talk today, man. Just talking about the mental health piece, just life, just whatever. We just gonna have a nice, casual, unfiltered conversation about some men stuff. With everybody here being entrepreneurs, I got a question for everybody. When it comes to who we surround ourselves with, what kind of value do we put on the people that are around us? What's the expectation of the value that they carry when we surround ourselves with people, being entrepreneurs, being fathers, husbands for those of us who are married? Like, what value do we place on people around us?
That's deep.
That's tough, because I'll be honest, I always have expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to people coming, being welcomed into the fold, I have to already know that their expectations for themselves match up or are higher than what I see for them. You know what I mean? Like even for myself, like somebody has to know what they want out of life. They got to have a passion for what they do in life, like, especially in our industry. It's a rough industry, period.
Yeah,
you got to have a passion for this before you even like step into it. Like it's tough. So you got to be a visionary. You got to be a visionary. You got to see past what gloom is gonna be.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of gloom, but you gotta see past that. You gotta have that creative mind and just want it for me like I want it for you. Because that's important to me. Like when somebody is with me, I want it for them.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like listen, I see it in you. I'm gonna pull that potential.
Hell yeah.
Like you gonna be mad at me for pulling that potential at times.
Yeah.
But because I see it, I'm gonna pull it, and that's the type of people I want. People because I'm coachable. I'm willing to learn anything from anybody, but you got to be coachable. So that's the biggest thing for me.
I think for myself, you got to have a standard, for self first, So, and I think within that standard of who you are as a person, as a man, I believe that's what we start to seek out in others, because once you get to this level of entrepreneur and chasing freedom for yourself, there's only a certain type. You start to learn that there is only a certain type of person that wakes up that early, that does what you do, that puts it on the line like you, that's willing to crawl out of life. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's for every one of us. That goes without me having to ask that question, because I know that without Keelan being who he was, DeAndre wouldn't be in the room, and without Wade being who he is, he wouldn't be in the room with Keelan. So things like that makes me comfortable to be in the room, even to share the stage with you guys, because I have that same standard. So I'm not gonna hang with a dude that ain't a good father to his children, or don't step up to the plate and don't handle his business, as a man, and take care of his family. We really ain't got too much to talk about. I don't care what kind of talent or cool things you got that I can use. I won't use them if you lacking in that area. Yeah. So standard, man.
Yeah, it's important.
I like that.
I think y'all pretty much covered it. I like to share like the circle or the fold with people that are of excellence. Like they live and breathe excellence. Like everything they do, it could be just taking out the trash.
Yeah.
They not missing no trash when they take the trash out. They not, half stepping when it come to this craft that we have. Like they're not allowing themselves to go hungry. Like I like hungry people because I'm a hungry person myself, and not just in the physical, but in the spiritual and the mental, and the psychological. I'm hungry for knowledge. I'm always like willing to learn. I'm always willing to be taught something, and I always know that I can learn something from everybody. So if we can all have that type of understanding with everybody, like, hey, sometimes you might get some constructive criticism from me, but then sometimes I'm willing to take it from you. But that's the way we should be able to trade with one another, so that we can actually be on one accord. Yeah. Because when people say, I hear people all the time say we're equally yoked. If you really look and see what a yoke is, nobody can't move unless one other person moves. So if me and Keelan have a yoke around our neck, I can't go anywhere unless he's coming with me. So when we're looking at people that we keep around us and we value those relationships around us, you have to find people that can be equally yoked with you. They may not see your vision for real, like how you see your vision, but they can agree with your vision. Yeah. They can agree with what they've displayed to you as their vision. Like when I attach myself to this man's vision, I'm like, that's similar to my vision that I see for myself. So why not attach myself and learn from somebody that's already been there? That's right. That's right. So I can miss those, those landmines. They might come up. He might tell me sometimes like, yeah, you probably won't want to do that. Or, yeah, you know what, go ahead and do it. Or he might say, yeah, go ahead and do it. And he know in the back of his mind, like, it's not gonna blow up like it's not gonna be like a big blow up, but it's gonna be like, I just wanted you to experience that real quick. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt you.
Right.
Like I just wanted you to experience that.
Yeah.
Like prime example, I always bring it up because I was like, when I first started barber school, I had these gold combs. And I was excited about my little gold aluminum combs. Wow, I was excited. Keelan was like, yeah, those is nice. Yeah, you know. those are real nice. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. 2 times I put it in the barber side. And them things had gold flakes around in the barber side. I took them out and they was all different colors. And he was like, yeah, I knew they was gonna do that. And I'm like, why you ain't say something? He's like, no, it's just some things you just gotta let you experience for yourself. You was excited about them combs. I let you be excited.
Excited.
Couldn't burst that bubble.
Yeah, he just. But that's cool because he allowed me to do that because I wanted to do it. It wasn't nothing that was gonna blow up my business.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing that was gonna lose business for me or nothing like
Right.
that. He just like, yeah, go ahead, try them combs, man. You know,
Yeah.
next time here, try this one,
Right.
Because this is the one that's gonna really work for you.
Yeah. And you know what? I got to put this disclaimer out there just for so that we don't lose listeners. You know, we're all entrepreneurs. This says no knock on someone who works a 9 to 5 that they're extremely passionate about.
Facts.
If you out there killing it in your whatever field of work that you in, listen, you fit right in with us. You know what I'm saying? We just took a different route, and that is no knock on, you know, so that's what the relatability as far as here, but we could have somebody here with a 9 to 5 that's again killing in their field of work. You know what I'm saying? So this still, you know, this talk still applies.
See, I feel like
to everyone else.
you can't, like for me, I don't lose that 9 to 5 mentality though. Like I actually will clock into myself.
Yeah.
Like you have to clock into yourself. Like even though we don't work a traditional 9 to 5, only thing that really separates us from like a traditional 9 to 5 is actually clocking in with somebody to another company.
Yep.
Or, you know, being accountable to somebody else. That's really it.
And we don't, you know, we
got flexibility
We don't sleep as comfortable sometimes.
Yeah, no.
That sleep is a little different.
When that roller coaster is going downwards.
What they say, every day the rent due. You know, when we do what we doing.
Success is
it's a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? So fellas, you know, what are some things that, you know, we hear the self-care thing. What are some things that each one of y'all do? We don't, you know, we ain't got to have a whole list, but what is something that y'all find important to make sure that y'all stay on top of y'all game mentality-wise? To make sure that y'all don't fall off the mental, because we know, we got kids. You know, y'all got wives.
I don't have kids.
Yeah, but you got a wife. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know.
Close enough.
So yeah, but we all have stressors though in our day-to-day life. But so what is something to make sure that, because I'll say it's my opinion that we are the more logical species, and we do handle pressure a lot better.
We
you know what I mean.
Way better. Yeah.
So, but sometimes though, but again, that human aspect though. And sometimes when you want to break down, you know, that woosah moment got to take place. So what's something that you do to protect your mental?
Can I go?
What
I would say, man, so my mentor, my uncle, my pastor, and you guys may know him, Jerry Beulah. But man, he helped me change my life, man. So, you know, anytime I'm feeling that urge to quit, like all of us have, and as long as you are working for yourself and you are in control and chasing this freedom, you're going to go through these stages, right? Yeah. So every time I'm feeling that urge, like, yo, I don't know if this is for me. And it's not even because of monetary. It's not the money issue. It's not that. It's just like, man, living this life every day is tough, man. You know, and I let him know, you know, like, Unc, I ain't really feeling it, you know. And he like, well, when the last time have you just left off alone? No phone, no kids, no wife, no, like, when the last time have you just left everything and just focus, no work, none of that, just go, only you. And I'm like, I never done that. I always felt guilty. You know, always feel guilty, like I was leaving somebody behind because, you know, I'm going to have a good time or I'm going to enjoy myself. And it's like, nah. And he's like, it really got to me when he said it, and I'm like, nah, that's really for you. You have to go free you. You have to go release those emotions, that tiredness, because that's what repetition gets tiring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you keep hitting something over and over. It repetition gets tiring, man. So if you don't do something, for yourself to release that, you'll blow up, know. And so last year I think was the first time I actually took that up. So now I make sure that, when I'm feeling that urge to, it's not necessarily quit, but it's like, I just don't want to do it like this no more.
Yeah.
I find a way to just get away, get away for a day, get away for a day or two, or just spend a night, to myself, and it works out. It works out.
That's dope.
I'm gonna piggyback on that, but I don't need vacations. My mind works crazy on vacation.
Yeah.
So
you worried about home.
It's one of those. Yeah, I want to be.
Yeah.
It's always something in my mind like I need to be doing this, need to be doing that, and I should not be thinking about that. So Jerry B is definitely right about that. But at the same time, that's just how my mind works. It's never going to quit like that.
Right, and it's hard. No, you can't turn it off. It's hard to turn it off, man.
But I do.
Yeah,
I try to spend as much time alone as possible, and like even while working, like today, I'll go wash the towels. It's alone time that I enjoy that, but I enjoy doing the towels because I get a time to really think about things, and really assess what's going on in life.
Right.
If I'm driving alone, I don't even play music.
Yeah.
That's the dope thing, man.
Because I like to hear the elements coming at me, as well as those help me really visualize things. So I do spend a lot of time, and people asked me before, like when this was being built, like, you need some help? But
I'll always be in his midst. Yeah, like, all right, let's go grab something. I don't know what to do.
But I enjoy that time. First, I like to build things. Secondly, it just gives me free moments, like where I don't got to think about everybody else's problems. Like, because I'm a problem solver. So if somebody bring me something, then I'm trying to, all right, then I got to do this for you. So but if I could just do this on my own, because I know I can solve these problems that's in front of me right now, but I can also just be by myself and contemplate everything that's been in my mind. Like, I might have my phone and just be taking notes on stuff, like, verbally. Yeah. By myself, you know what I'm saying? So I like to spend time.
He ain't got kids though, man.
I don't have kids. And that's true. I don't have kids, and that to me, that's I love that.
That's what I love. That
I love that.
I don't.
Yeah, because kids are different.
Yeah, they are.
Dealing with kids in the chair, I can already understand. So I need that time not to be.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
so, I try to spend as much time alone as possible, and it works for me. Lynn always tries to get me to hang out with the guys and stuff like that. Like, I enjoy my time with her, but I also just like
being to yourself.
Sometimes, I want to be off the grid, like, period. I might not want to say a word for 48 hours. I don't want to hear a sound. Like, no questions.
Snap on you.
Like, no questions. Turn it off. Yeah, I just want to turn it all off. Yeah. All questions you can ask me, I just want to turn that off. And that's what the alone time helps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
This question is funny because it's like, this past week has been a test of parenting for my wife and I. Like, we just been dealing with one thing after another. We both was like in the midst of like saying, I'm so sick of being a parent right now. Like, it don't make no sense. If it ain't a kid trying to ask to go somewhere and they ain't clean their room, and they ain't did their chores, they still trying to ask. Then I got one over here whining. I got this other one over here jumping off the couch about to hurt herself. And this one, she don't even say nothing to nobody, but she having some internal battles. So you see how that's kind of like, it's
Lord.
But I spend time. I spend some time on my own. Like, I definitely get up early strategically because nobody needs me at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't need to be anybody to nobody but myself.
That's right.
At 4 o'clock in the morning, from 4 o'clock to about 7 o'clock, nobody needs me.
Yeah, man.
So I take that block of time and I actually protect that block of time. Can't nobody, my phone is in do not disturb from 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. So like during that time, I don't take no calls about no haircuts, no speaking engagements, none of that. It just, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. But I definitely protect that time because I either will work out or I will do a devotional or do some reading or some listening. And that's just a time for me to like really reflect on myself.
Yeah.
I do the self-care things. Like I get my hair cut usually every week. That's my time. Once again, nobody needs me.
Not me.
Once again, nobody needs me. But like, I feel like, even when I'm cutting hair, nobody can come get me and say, I need you to come here.
Yeah.
You got to give me an hour and then I'll come see you. I'm not just going to drop my clippers and do it in the chair. Like, that's actually one of my things of self-care and like really one of my like Zen moments.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the zone, and then the last thing, of course, I get like a monthly massage. Like that's just what I do.
Nice. Nice. Listen, one of my favorite things is to sit in the car.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Car sit is different.
Listen, that car sit is different.
That's
Man, you can
isn't
end
it
up
natural now, right?
Yeah, you can just sit in the car for like an hour. You be in the driveway just chilling,
Sleep.
man, about an hour. Listen, I didn't have plenty of naps. Just
Yeah,
like
no, for sure.
waking up like, oh man.
Hour later,
Listen, chilling in the car, man.
nap you gonna
The
get.
alone time is definitely.
it's quiet.
I think I got a piece of all that. I'm up at 4 a.m. Get my workout in. I do that's one of my things. Music.
Oh.
I'm heavy. Music, and then just doing projects. I feel like when I'm doing a project around the house, outside or something like that, and it don't matter what's going on. It's just I'm in the zone.
So
You
you
know what
at
I mean?
4 a.m. yourself too as well?
Yeah. Yep.
What about you?
Early. I'm up at 5, but
I'm 5:30, man. You guys got me ready to.
Oh yeah.
You motivate me.
4:45, 4:30, 4:45.
4:30.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'll
It's at
say
the
this.
latest.
My alarm is set at 5. My body might say get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I be.
I might be up
Yeah,
at 3:50.
Yeah.
My body might
Like-
say get
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Once you get used to it, it's
Yeah, that's how. Like I don't need an alarm to get up at. Like it's like like I feel it before my alarm go off. Like, it's like boom. It's like something shocked the heart. Boom.
Just up.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Listen, when's the last time you guys have had a moment of feeling like, what good am I? If I've done X, Y, and Z, if I'm over here hustling and doing this, if I'm making it happen here and I'm doing this, and maybe you just don't feel appreciated.
Every time I look at my bank account.
no, for real, man.
It's like I make all this money
And it's
I don't
like-
see nothing in there.
It's like, what good am I? Because, and even here's a good one, right? Especially when you're given the label of head of
Household.
household, father, husband, brother, caretaker. And any of these is just not good enough, because I thought that what we did, that put a smile on your face or something like that's not good enough. Not like so what good am I if
No, that's why we doing this.
what
You not alone,
what
brother.
am I doing here if that talk that we had, that I was under the assumption we had a truce and that we both left and signed on the dotted line and this is what it was, but then something else that what good am I?
Wow.
Like, what do you do when you get that? Like, what good am I? Like, what am I even doing here?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't have that problem with my wife, so I'm never feeling like that about her.
But it could be anything in life, though. I know I gave my scenario, but I mean, for if you have them,
Not never.
Okay,
but
nice.
I have had them. I'm talking about not with her, not never.
Yeah.
Honestly, like 100%. Not never.
That's dope.
But here, and one of the most realest one. Like here, I had those emotions. Like, bro, I'm here to coach.
Yeah.
Like if you ain't listening to what I'm saying,
Why are you here?
why am I here?
Why am I? Yep.
Not just why am I here? Why do I have this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I could be in a solo dolo salon suite and just do everything I can with me and my clients.
Yeah.
So I had those moments like, I'm here for you.
Right.
But you ain't taking it.
Yeah.
So why am I here? The realest why am I here is my mom. When she was going through real problems in her life, like, you know, about to die type thing, like, you know, real care, needed a lot of caregiving stuff. And I had been doing it for years. She was, you know, still in good spirits, but slight hints of dementia occasionally. And again, so instead of 5, I'm getting up at 4 because I gotta go. I'm gonna go take care of her. I'm gonna go give her her pills, make sure she all good. Then I'm gonna make it to the shop. And, you know, cut off my clients, and I'm gonna go right back there to make sure she good. And I'm gonna go make sure my wife is good at home. Then I'm gonna get back up at 4, and I'm gonna go
all
do the
over
same
again.
thing all over again. And for a point, it was almost like she didn't appreciate it. And I was like, what the heck am I here for?
Yeah.
Like, why? What am I here for? Like, everything. All this that I'm doing, I don't feel like I'm appreciated.
Yeah.
And that at that point, it hurt a lot. And that was around one of those times where the guys had, you know.
Got you.
Like, what the?
Yeah.
You don't see what I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
y'all could just up it. And so at that point, I'm like, dang, what is all this about? What all of it for? Like,
He trying to break us down here, ain't
Man.
I could have got deeper, but I ain't want to tear up on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it got to that
Nah,
point
for
where
sure.
I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you know, that was probably the most hurting feeling of that.
Yeah.
Like this type of stuff here is like, it's just like a frustration.
Yeah.
Right here. Like the other one was like, it was all in the
Yeah.
emotions. It was in the gut.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
doing too much. I'm doing more than anybody ever could see.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling like it was being appreciated. So
appreciated, no reciprocation.
yeah. And I don't even need reciprocation. That's the whole thing about it. Like, I don't even need reciprocation. Just like
Acknowledgement sometimes.
acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Just say, like, if I bring you something, like, why didn't you get me that?
Yeah.
I'm about to come right around that corner too. See, I'm about to come right around that corner.
What do you mean? Like,
It's good, but I would have rather had.
what? And like, after a while, I had to really realize, like, that dementia sometimes don't,
Yeah.
you know, it play on their mind.
Yeah.
So, you know, things recycle in them, and it's just, they don't have that emotion.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they show you the love, but it'd be like, yeah, but I wanted this.
You be like, hold tight.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I think for myself, and to the question, my dream was to be a philanthropist, right? And I just wanted to give back, you know, and I really felt like I can, like, I really, in my heart, in 2015, 15, starting this journey, I'm like, I really feel like I can change this because I was introduced to so many new things and so many knowledgeable things that I had so much to give to a young black man or a young black family.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yo, I got so much in the tank. So I went and did the hardest thing, which was go after the adults. And I wanted to start my organization with adults, you know, because I feel like children have football coaches, basketball coaches, teachers. You know, they have people to still feed them knowledge. However, I feel like in our time, we was lost in the house.
Yeah.
And I wanted to restore the house because everybody outside the house is speaking knowledge and speaking mannerisms and they're trying to teach you the right thing.
Yeah.
But when we don't get that at home, we become a different type of animal. So I wanted to feed that and put it into the home. And people used to always tell me like, yo, you can't, there's nothing you can do for an adult. They stuck in their ways. And I'm like, I don't believe that. I believe that they just have to see it, because I had to see it in some way, shape, or form, and I got it. You know, so I expected that out of every adult, you know, and then I didn't get that, man. And it was like, it crushed me.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm like, yo, I'm telling y'all so many great things. I'm going live. I'm having events. I'm giving away. And I'm doing this for y'all to see a different way. I'm giving knowledge away. This is free game, yo. It really works. And to be shot down, or just to feel like somebody don't even care about what it is that you do and trying to provide and give to them for the better good, it's always an opportunity. It's always just I needed that today and it worked out for me. Yeah. It's like, it was never like really appreciation. Yeah. You know what I mean? For, you know, or even an acknowledgement. You know what I mean? You know, hey, that was a gas giveaway. That's all it was. Hey, I got what I got. Let me roll. And it's like, they don't care about why you did it. Yeah. You know, it's just like, yo, it's free. It's free. What is it? School supplies. You know, no matter what it is, it's just a you know, an opportunity to have something. And it bothered me for a while, you know, to, you know, just not get no appreciation for who I am and what I do and what I'm willing to do for my community. And I'm not a type of person that's going to, you know, I do this and I do, because, you know, people don't bless me. You know, my blessings don't come from the people. That's right. But it did affect me in a way that, you know, now I feel like my dream is going out the window, because I'm trying to change the people in the community that just don't get it. Yeah. You know, so, you know, I battled with that for a while until, you know, I came to the realization that, you know, people are people and people are going to be people. Yeah. And you can just do your best. You know, you can do your best. Everybody's not going to get it. Everybody isn't going to be who you are. And you just got to do what you do. And I feel like a lot of times you help people without them even knowing you helping them. Yeah. Just do it, you know? And that's just what it is now. So.
That's dope.
I always say, don't let them people on you, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They will people on you.
Buddy. People. Man.
I like to talk about my kids a lot. My wife too, but mainly the kids. The kids will pull. I get pulled in obviously 4 different directions. I got 4 kids, 14, 12, 8, and soon to be 6. And like, so they are pulling me in all different directions. And I guess I can include my wife in there too, because it's like you do a lot. Like I do a lot in the house. Outside of the house, actually. My wife does a lot more inside the house. But if I do a lot outside the house and I come home and all I want to do is kind of just chill, I feel bad. But then I also feel like, man, I'm super tired. You know, I'm super tired because whenever I'm outside of the house, you know, I'm working. You know, I'm doing things I need to do. But then when I come inside the house, it's like, you know, the kids are like, can I have this? And can I have that? Can I do this? And can we do that? Can I go here? Can I go there? And I'm like, no, just leave me alone for right now. Like, I'm not about to go nowhere or do nothing or anything like that. I'm just going to just know right now, you know, or even if let's say for instance, Christmas and holidays and birthdays, they get whatever they want pretty much for the most part. If I can get it for them, they get it done. Yeah. If I can't get it for you right now, I'm gonna figure out how to get it. But then after they get everything they want to get, they then still ask for stuff. I'm like, how on earth are you still asking for stuff? And I try not to tell them how much I spend on stuff. Yeah. Except for the big ones. I'm like, you know, that costs this amount of money. Like, but they, you know, I understand their children. They do not understand the magnitude of the household. I'm like, y'all got this big old house. You ride in a nice car all the time. You got shoes on your feet. What more do you need? Like, you don't need the Lululemon bag. I get it. Your friends got
They need everything they see on TikTok.
Listen, TikTok is the trend, period. I remember, like, growing up, we was making up trends.
Yeah,
now
man.
they look on TikTok and say, "Oh, I should wear this today."
Yeah, that look good.
That look good.
That look good on me.
They actually look at Pinterest or somewhere to see what to wear. Like, what do you mean what to wear?
Oh yeah,
like,
and they tell you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, what you got that on for, Dad? Like, what do you mean? Look it up. You shouldn't put that together.
you shouldn't do that together. Like,
Yeah, man.
and you know, it's one of those moments where it's like, you know, I know why I'm here, but it's like, what am I here for now?
Yeah.
Because all you doing is just stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching, you know, instead of like, and even this is when I kind of gets a slap in the face. If I show up somewhere without my wife or without my kids, they're asking where they are. Mm-hmm. Hey, hi, I'm here. I'll show up to church and everybody's like, where's Jasmine? I'm like, she's at home. I'm doing fine though.
I'm okay.
They just walk away. You like,
Ta-da!
hey.
No? Okay. The kid's at home too, by the way. You know, like, it might be something like that. Then I'm like, man, that's one of the moments, like, what am I here for then?
Yeah.
If you just gonna ask me about everybody else, how about how you feeling today? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a question that we don't get asked enough. And even when we do get asked that question, I feel like nobody really tells the truth.
Yeah. It's so surface.
It is.
Yeah, it stays
it's very
surface.
surface.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those mental health things mental health things that if I'm asking you how you doing, you know, I like Keelan's transparency. He be like, I ain't good at all. Sometimes he'll just tell me. I'm like, oh. And I just sit down. I don't care what I got to do. Yeah. You know, I just sit down and be like, oh, and I won't even say nothing sometimes. Sometimes you just being in somebody's presence and just sitting there with them.
That's enough sometimes.
You know?
Yep.
But, that's it.
Man, how many of us actually have that? You know what I'm saying? Like, as men. Because I know we like harp on women sometimes with some of the stuff, but it's so easy for them to find community amongst each other, even if their community is a revolving door sometime, and but they still have a way of finding community. And then the fellas, you know, we do end up being alone most of the time. You know what I mean? And then, when we link up with the fellas. You know what I mean? But I don't think we really understand the importance of this right here. Not even, you know what I'm saying? Even without the mics and all that, just like the importance of being amongst one another, even if it is just for an hour, 2 hours, you know what I mean? So we can actually just talk. Because then once we get going, it's like, oh, you've been dealing with this too.
Yeah. Nah, seriously.
What have you been doing? Because I need help. Because what I've been doing has not been working.
It ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't
So
working.
give me some pointers. And and that's the thing. I feel like sometimes I know in some circles it is ego driven, and I feel like we don't take this one thing real good. Okay, as men amongst other men, correction. Mm-hmm. Me and my boy 2 weeks ago, he had said something. We was at the gym, and I won't get into all the details, but he had said something as far as parenting, being a father or whatever. I'm just like, oh man, that don't sit right with me at all. So that big fella, I think we need to change that mindset. You know, we ended up having a deep, long conversation, and he was like, thanks for putting me in my place. Right. Because had you not said nothing, I would have just left here and went and did something real stupid at home with my wife and my kids. So I appreciate you for just being, so it's just like, how many of us actually have that, like you said, that correction amongst one another, whether it's correction or just being able to sit down and just listen to somebody, whether it's venting or having a back and forth and helping somebody get out of a situation, get to the next phase of something, no matter what it is.
I started to actually really pray about that, because I wanted men to like really connect with. I think it was this past Saturday, I had a young man, I was cutting his hair, and then like his boys came in. It was like 6 of them. I was like, well, okay. It's the end of the night too. So I'm like, I don't know who these guys that were coming in. And he's last cut, and they all come in. It was like 6 of them. And I'm like, man, they come to pick him up, basically. You know, they left, and they, went and got some food or whatever, and they came back to get him for his haircut. And I'm like, man, I used to have a friends group like that. Like, we had boys that we like, everybody would just link up.
Yeah, man.
And we didn't have to call anybody back in the day. So it was just like, yo, I was at DeAndre's house, and then next thing you know, my dude Brandon, he'll show up, then my dude Antoine, he'll show up, and then we just all be just kicking it.
Yeah.
But like, and then we would have those times where we were like vulnerable around each other. But now I'm asking like to have people sent to me that I can actually grow with.
Yeah.
Like because I'm married, of course I'm going to deal with other married men. Because I can't go out and do single men type stuff. Like, I'm not going to meet you at the bar. I can't do that. I don't even drink that often. Like, it's just like, I'm not going to meet you at no club or nothing like that. Like, that's single dude type stuff. But like some married men, like we'll like link up, and then we find out that we are having similar issues with our wives. And we share knowledge about, okay, this is when you need to take low. Like, my dad calls it take low, and it's like about like being strong enough to be weak. Yeah, basically, like kind of just like let them be right for right now. But then when they find out that they wrong, like don't throw it in their face. They don't like that.
Nah, they don't like that.
But just kind of yeah, I know. Why you ain't say nothing?
Sometimes it's better off that way.
I just took low.
Yeah.
I just let you have that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think though as we get older, as we become entrepreneurs, or as we in business, we begin to get busy. Yeah. So our circle shrinks. Yeah, not intentionally,
right?
But
it does.
The dudes that we still rock with, It's just about being able to make time for that.
At least not intentional in our plan.
Facts.
That's good.
And adding people to that you might be on your same schedule. Yeah. You got to build that relationship up to be able to. We don't trust people.
No,
we don't trust nobody.
We don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we really don't.
So to be vulnerable with somebody that is new, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what you got. For people who read people well, you can adjust to that. But for some, it's like, I'm just not going to open up like that because I don't know. Like, I might share something, and the next thing I know, like,
I'm getting a phone call.
I'm
getting a phone call from somebody else.
So, exactly. Like, so, of course, I still have people like that I trust and can talk to at any time. You know what I'm saying? Me and Rome, being in the shop together for so long, that's a brother. So do we hang out like we used to? No, but can we? If it comes down to that, we gonna go kick it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go have these real talks like this. Wade is becoming that though. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. Like we went on a trip to Connecticut, and that was a great time. It was just he and I. We kind of learned each other even more on that trip. That's a long.
That's a 9-hour ride.
Y'all drove it too. Oh yeah, that's a stroll.
It's 18 hours.
Hey, that PA stretch.
That's the worst stretch.
That PA stretch,
man.
Worst stretch, man.
That's a long ride. But
I found out he likes potato chips.
Yeah, I like potato chips a lot.
Ruffles,
I like
actually.
Special kind of
Ruffles.
These are the special kind.
I cannot resist Ruffles, cheddar and sour cream.
Hey, them joints
they do bag though.
Yeah. If they ain't in the house, I'm good.
He killed the entire bag.
The big joint?
It's over.
Man, listen, he beat that bag
I don't play with those. Like, I don't care. Any other chip, I might 2 or 3.
No,
those.
He didn't take a break. It was crumbs all over his shirt, in his beard. It was so funny.
Everywhere.
You just start learning each other though. That's
But so I started doing that type of trip though. Not just, I did it with Wade the last time, but I was doing that with the barbers. Intentionally with those long trips. Like, we got a bond. Like, we going to be together every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to bond, and like, it works, until it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you still build that relationship, you know, and that's why some things are tougher than others. Like, because you start building that relationship with somebody, and then something else happen, it'd be like, I put time in this.
Man.
I put intentional
No
time.
lie, man. That barbershop is so. That's why I feel like the barbershop is so powerful, man. And to men, like, you know, I feel like that's a moment that I can go and release things on my mind, or, you know, even get some pointers, or, you know, get it from somebody else's view, man. Because
100%.
sometimes it be just the right people in the room, you know what I'm saying? And once you get that, you know, that shop talk, man, it's like important for me. But for myself, man, honestly, like, and personally, at home, I have molded my fiance into, you know, my mindset, you know, and she follows well, but also she's a realist as well, because that's what I poured out, you know, and that's what she adopted from me. So anytime I'm being over emotional, or I'm looking at things half empty, man, she got a way to fill me back up, you know, and I think and most men, they should confide in a woman in that manner to be that to him, because she helps me out, man. When I'm for real, like when I'm not feeling it, and it ain't always in a nice way either. It ain't always on my side. Nah, if I'm like, yo,
she gonna let you know.
Yeah, she gonna let me know, man. You need to tighten up, man. You like, you tripping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, and it ain't no, you know, what I say goes. It's more so like she know, like, yo, we right is right and wrong is wrong, and she give it to me just like that. And a lot of times, if it's something I don't like, you know, it get to me in a moment. But, you know, I gotta go take my lump and go over here, think about it for a little bit, and get back to it. And other than her, man, that's that 5:30 in the morning for me. You know, that's that time that I can release that. I can cry if I want to. I can, you know, let it out, get it off my shoulders, get it off my chest, you know, at that moment, give it to God, and then get back to the board and do what I'm supposed to do. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, speaking of that, what is your relationship with vulnerability? What's your relationship like when it comes to vulnerability?
I think, like, honestly, it's a skill, man. You gotta really have a skill for it, man, because no man wants that. You know, that's the lion heart, right? You know, we trained to have that lion mentality, and I believe with most broken black men, we deal with a lot of that vulnerability issues. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't be psychologically. You are trained to go get it as a man.
Right.
Again, look at every species of males. Like, we're trained to go get it. We provide. We are protectors. We're that in every species of male.
Yeah.
Protectors to our family and woman. And when you're not doing that subconsciously, you're letting yourself down. And you feeling like now that I'm supposed to be this and I'm not that, so I have to portray that, but behind closed doors I'm really hurting, because if I let DeAndre know that I ain't really that, how DeAndre gonna look at me, and I don't want to feel less of a man in front of DeAndre. I can't do that when the whole time DeAndre got the keys to unlock the doors that I need to get inside. You got everything I need and voice and opinion and advice that I need to take from you so I can be a better man.
Yeah.
And we don't always take that up. But when you get around men like yourself, we're able to, you know, get that, oh man, you too. Man, I would have never thought that. Man, I said it in the beginning of the episode that, dang, I thought that was only me. You know, that was, you know, feeling these emotions and things like that. So, but I've learned to open up and not hold it, because as a young boy and young man at 18, 19, 20 is when I let that get to me, and I made stupid mistakes by letting everything bottle up and not releasing it. So nowadays, I encourage any man, to get your hug on, man. Get your talk on.
Yeah, man.
go do what you have to do, get your cry on, whatever you need to do to release those emotions, because real strength is inside weakness. If you don't know like, I always thought the strength was who you talking about? What you talking about? I'm a man. And it was like, nah, that's weakness for real. That's because it take a real man to see that and be like, you know what? What I got going on is more important than that. What I have planned for my family is more important than that. How I value myself is more important than that. My standard is more important than that. So you know what? You got it, King. Not that I fear you or I'm scared of you, but I might even be protecting you. You know what I'm saying? So it's things like it's things like that. Once you get out of that vulnerability stage, you win, man.
Yeah, man.
So
I think I've learned that vulnerability and transparency are two of the most important things in relationships, whether it's significant other or just people that you're around, period. Because people will always, they'll look at you, they'll watch what you do, they'll watch you closely, especially those that are already close to you, and see that you can handle things, you know, and just assume that everything can be handled because you take things so well. But when you open up and see and show transparency, it's like, why is he handling?
Yeah.
You know, why is he, you know, taking all that on his own back like that? And so it kind of helps to be open like that. Even though we still not going to be totally open, it's just you have to have some level of vulnerability with and transparency with people, just so they can see, like, nah, life is rough.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't, I smiled. The other day, Alexis said, you in a good mood today? And for me, I'm like, I'm in a good mood every day. Like, right. Like what you mean? Like, but because I'm so focused on what I do every day, I might not smile. I'm a straight faced character.
Yeah.
And so people might not know I'm happy, or they might not know that, you know, I'm going through some things. So I took that like, dang, I'm like, do I gotta smile more or something? But people always say, like, when I walk in the room, people stiffen up. I never want that. Like, have your fun, do what you do. But because I'm just serious, because I know the things that I gotta do throughout the day. You know, for the rest of that, please have fun. Like, I'm only gonna stop you if it's, you know, disrupting what business is. Outside of that, but so I'm still learning that, you know, again, transparency and just showing a little bit of vulnerability, showing, you know, the things that my daily life, you know, how I might wake up, what I might do when I wake up. You know what I'm saying? Because if people don't understand that, they're not gonna want to do those things for themselves, and, you know, take on some of those other responsibilities for themselves. They got to know you human and not a robot.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I operate robotic, like, and it's just routine.
Yeah.
I'm so used to it. It just happens that way. Like, it's a natural thing. So I go throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So learning to continually, like, even with my wife, like, she's a therapist. She's a therapist. A mental health.
He lit up there, didn't he?
She's a mental health therapist. So sometimes it's tough to. I don't want to be
a patient.
Counseled. All the time. You know what I mean? So you know, and sometimes, even though she might not be saying it, I feel that way. So I might shut down. Again, because my day is the same every day. So it's routine. Like, I might not want to answer how my day was, like, in a full explanation. It was cool.
Let me ask you this.
My day was good.
For that, it was just like, now, do you not like the fact that like, you don't like being counseled all the time? Is that by her specifically, but to her title? Like you don't want to feel like do you feel like it's like that's what she do in her everyday like life for her business?
Right. So, kind of, sort of. If that's what you do, I don't want you to have to come home and counsel me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in that type of way.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I genuinely don't want you to ask me.
Yeah.
How you doing? Because I'm gonna give you a I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm straight. Like,
Yeah.
or not how you doing? How was your day? It was cool.
They hate when we nonchalant.
It was a regular day.
That'd be my response too. It was cool.
Yeah, it was a regular day, and you know, I know she like in her head like I want more.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the thing for me is like, do me like you do your friends. Like when y'all get on the phone, just start talking.
Yeah.
Just start talking.
Yeah.
Like we can have a full conversation about, because I'm gonna eventually tell you your day, but how my day was, but I don't want it right then.
The
I don't
approach.
Want you to, yeah,
The
I
approach
don't want
is different.
you,
Yeah.
because I might want to revisit what was happening in the day on how I can tell you what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask it, then it's like my plan was just foiled. Now I got to remember what I was going. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like, and it's different because I tell her this all the time. Like I might have 80 conversations a day of the same conversation.
Of the same conversation.
What's up, Key? How you doing? What's next? What you do last weekend? What you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
80 times.
Yeah. So then I come home and you ask me, it's like, cool.
Yeah.
I ain't got it in
I
me
don't
no
even know
more.
anymore.
Yeah,
I ain't got it in me no more.
I don't have it in me no more. And I just want a regular, yo, I want you to tell me what happened in your day first. And then, so I can relax my mind and say, this is what happened.
Yeah.
You know, because again, it's routine for me.
Right.
Things don't stick out until I sit down and really think about it. Like, because it's just, I cut this head. My 1 o'clock came in. You know what I'm saying? I did this to them. He got a facial today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like it's too much to talk about and I really don't want to go play by play.
Right, yeah. I really don't. So if it was something that stuck out for me, that's what I want to, I'm going to explain that to you.
Yeah.
For just say, yo, hey, listen, earlier today, this is what I was doing. Do that to me.
Yeah.
Do that to me.
On a percentage wise, 1 to 100, how much do y'all internalize most situations throughout y'all day-to-day life? Just rapid fire, just shoot out the number.
67%.
Ask the question again.
How much do you internalize on a scale, on a 1 to 100%, percentage wise, 1 to 100, how much do you internalize on a day-to-day basis, everything that you deal with? 90%?
Yeah, I have to say I'm very high in percentage, man. Like I don't know. I think when you're on this level, I think like and like you said to the people, don't take that the wrong way. And when I say on this level, I just mean have a purpose, have a drive, know what you're after, know what it takes to get there, and internally,
yeah. How much do you internalize?
Like man, yeah, that's like it's probably like 80% of it is like of my day, man. It's like
yes, I'm at about 95%, right? Yeah, so internalizing as much as we do, right? What happens when we lose the battle inside?
I think the reason why mine is like so low, mine is lower because I speak fluent like vulnerability, and I speak fluent transparency. So I really don't internalize a lot of stuff, and that kind of helps me navigate through my feelings and my emotions. I kind of operate with a higher level of emotional intelligence because of the fact that I don't really internalize a lot of things. I might keep it in until a certain point. Like I'm going to let you know how I feel, but I'm not going to tell you right now.
So what's your process? So when you're processing and you're getting out so that you don't internalize, What's your process?
I deal with it right now. Like I deal with it right now. I don't internalize anything. I just deal with it right now. Like prime example, like, you know, I'm in ministry and stuff like that. So it's like if somebody was to come up to me in Walmart and say, "Hey Wade, how's it going? Everything's good with me. How's things with you? Da 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 da. Can you just pray for me and my family? Because we've been going through a lot of stuff." Normal people say, "I got you," and then you walk away. No. I got my oil in my pocket usually, and we're going to pray right now. Right here in Walmart.
Yeah.
Because I'm not taking that with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even when people in my chair and they're talking to me about certain stuff, I'm not taking that with me. We're going to try to deal with this now.
That's
you
good.
know, so that's why I don't really internalize a lot of stuff, and it kind of helps with my mental health because I just, sometimes somebody told me that I don't take life that serious. I do take life serious. It's just, I don't dwell on things that I can't control.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah.
Like, if the bills is due, okay, how much time I got? Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, weeks go by, you just dealing with it for weeks and weeks. Not me. When is it due? Okay, the 15th. Okay, I got 2 more weeks. Like, and by 2 weeks time, I'm like, I either paid it or it's about to get paid in 2 weeks time. I can't make it happen no faster or no slower. So therefore, I don't internalize the fact that the bills is due. Like, they gonna be due every month. Like clockwork. They coming to get that money. So that's why I feel like that my percentage is a little bit, I probably even go even lower. Honestly, it might be 50-50. Like sometimes I might internalize some things, other times I might. The only time I internalize things is sometimes when it's personal.
Yeah.
Like when it's a personal attack. Like say for instance, if somebody said that the haircut wasn't right. And they told people that their haircut wasn't right.
Yeah.
Instead of telling me,
Right.
you told other people.
Now Facebook.
Yeah, like it's not. It's only happened like a couple of times, but like it's just at the point where like I deal with that differently because like now I have to internalize that. Yeah, because I don't have an opportunity to deal with it head on, so now I have to carry it with me until I can deal with it. Until you come back in the shop and get cut by somebody else. I'm like, hey, real quick, something was wrong, man. I gave you the mirror twice.
Right.
You know, that's your time to be like, hey, this ain't right.
Yeah.
You know, that's your time. But I might internalize stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
when we internalize things, right, the things that we can't fully process out, we battle with it. So what happens as men? I feel like the average man internalizes way more than we should, obviously. And there's not a lot of us who, you touched on emotional intelligence. There's also not a lot of us who are emotionally intelligent out here. So we end up losing battles by internalizing so many things and not properly processing, whether it be in a timely manner or just getting it out regularly. So what happens when we do lose the battle within that we're internalizing? I'm sure all of us have had something that we've lost, but like what happens and why does it happen when we lose the battle within?
I feel like for myself, it's that upset. It's a rage. It's a rage, and a rage that only probably a few people who know you would know you going through that thing over there, you know. And it's like, and it goes back to the question of you know, it's like, what do I do now? Why, like the like not feeling the appreciation, not feeling it. Like, what am I doing here? Why am I doing it? It's like a crash, like, cause we crash, but don't nobody know we crash. Yeah. Because when we come back out, we got our cape back. We got our cape on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Our cape back on.
The walk is still the same.
Yeah, right. You know, the walk is still the same, and it's like, yo, it's like I could talk to somebody and tell them like, yo, what I went through and what I've been, and they'll never know because it's like, yo, we never seen that in you. You know what I mean? And it's like, cause I'm just always ready. You know, I'm just like I'm ready for whatever. I feel like, you know, I'm not gonna be outworked. I'm here. I'm ready to get it. You know, so after I go through that little crash, whether that was in my room, in the house, like, you know, like being real, like sometimes my family would get something they shouldn't get. they should have never gotten from me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a build up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like boom, and that's why that's good to have that other person in the home who can notice that and point that out. Like, hey yo, you tripping, big dog. Like that ain't how we handle things.
Yeah.
You know, that ain't what we do. You know, so whatever you got going on, you need to handle that. And you don't understand, you don't get it, you just don't. Nah, that's why I said you need to handle that. You know, you need to handle that. That's why I said it's a you problem. Oh, you gonna tell me it's a me problem? How dare you? Like I get like you go just who was you to tell me this is a me problem? You know, and then I go into myself like, yo, she ain't lying. It's really a you problem, dog. You gotta get better, man. You gotta, so whatever it is, it's like anytime we going through those things, I feel like it's always on our shoulders to notice it, be cognizant about it, and hurry up and get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think we get easier with that with time. You know, once you clock in and once you focus in on your true and chase the highest elevation of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Fellas, y'all got something on that?
Yeah, I don't know. It stays built up. Like eventually though, like I'll probably just forget about it. You know, a lot of things I got to process. So and I got my own ways of processing things, and if I try not to let it beat me up. Some things might beat me up. You know, internalizing it, but other things it's like if it wasn't dealt with in a timely manner, like you said, it's too late. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's too late, and I got to let it go myself.
Yeah,
but those times ain't often though. You know, I feel like because we when you get to a certain level, you able to take so much. It's like you able to take so much, and because you understand the energies. Like once you understand energy, and force, man, like you understand what gravity, the gravitation, like being a band. Like if you can be a band with yourself, bro. Yeah, man. I don't think that there's too much another person can do to hurt. I already know what I did wrong. I already know what I shouldn't have done.
It's called accountability.
Yeah, taking that accountability.
It's called accountability.
Like,
right there.
Man, I'm telling you, man.
Self-accountability. I mean, that mean you didn't self-reflect it. You didn't thought about it. You didn't already processed it. So when somebody
wrote it down.
You just spend so much time with yourself. Like you say, I say all the time, it's like, man, it ain't much anybody can come and say, man, well, you're like this, and yeah, I know. So if I'm still doing it, that means I'm kind of comfortable with that.
Yeah, like. And
you just may not be my person to be in this circle because you can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so come back when you're ready,
Right.
So we all got, we got sons, right? Keelan, but you mentor. You mentor a lot.
That's big.
We daughters too. I don't want to discount them, but
Dad,
from you're right. From a man's perspective, though, I feel like we're dealing with, and this is even like with my sons, cousins, family, friends, just in general. When you look around, the average male, they bypass vulnerability and they just emotional.
Yeah.
Overly emotional, right? And a lot of it does attribute to the food that we eat. If you look at the studies and how much estrogen that they put in food, and a lot of the things that that our kids intake plays a huge part into it, and that the average male baby is born with less testosterone than they were, by generation. So we do deal with that. But then you come into even the raising of kids, even in sports, you see how entitled and emotional a lot of these boys are when it comes to things. What are some of the critical changes that we have to make as men as far as pouring into the generations coming up to ensure that there is, y'all know I hate saying balance, but a balance at least with the men, these young men who will soon be men and running the world, the cities, in charge of families,
society.
What are some of the critical changes that we have to make in order to be sure that these generations are getting guidance or anything?
I think I'm going to circle back to the emotional intelligence piece because I teach my son that it's okay to be emotional. Like, it's okay to have emotion. I get it. You're upset. But you have to learn how to manage that emotion, your emotion. You have to learn how to also manage others' emotions.
Yeah.
You might upset somebody, and that's okay. But that has nothing to do with you sometimes. Like, I had to let my son know, like, if they're upset with you, that sometimes does not have anything to do with you.
Yeah.
It is none of your business why that upset them so much.
Yeah.
But it's your business to make sure you are treating them with the proper respect and the proper, etiquette and things like that. That's your responsibility.
Right.
But how you respond to it is differently. So I'm kind of teaching my boys. Well, I have a soon-to-be 6-year-old, but my 14-year-old, I'm teaching him some of the stuff that's like, listen, he watches me. He watches me all the time. And just a brief example, like last week I had to buy him some track spikes. And the guy that helped us out, I shook his hand and he told me his name. I told him my name, and we locked eyes. Something just simple as that. If you just go up to a young boy sometimes and try to shake their hand, some of these young boys don't even know how to shake hands.
Yeah, that's true.
They do this.
Yeah.
The heck is this? You about to give me your left hand? Boy, give me your other hand. And right there, that's a lesson.
Yeah.
Right there in discipline.
Yeah, man.
Of a man, like being a man as in today's society, it's like, listen, I shake hands firmly, and if we don't get it right the first time, we do it again.
Yeah.
Back out.
Because sometimes it's like, oh, we messed that up. Because I feel like COVID messed up the handshake. We don't know if we pounding or if we handshaking. We like this, and then all of a sudden you get this weird little thing going on. It's like, the heck, what we just do? Let's start over. We're doing a handshake.
Wow.
So then just teaching like that simple discipline is, I feel like that word is like resonating throughout my mind right now. It's just the simple disciplines of being a man. Like, they're already at a disadvantage.
Yeah, man.
They're already at a disadvantage. Like you said, studies are showing that a higher amount of estrogen are in these boys because of the food that's being processed, because of the food that's being man-made and lab produced.
Yep.
So they're already at a disadvantage. Let's not allow that to be a disadvantage when it comes to how we pour into our children, our men, our young men. Because if we're not pouring into these young men, society is going to pour into these young men.
100%.
If you see my son right now, my 14-year-old, he walks in, he goes to predominantly white school. When he walks into the classroom, they don't look at him as a straight A student.
Oh, man.
At all. Some of y'all have seen my son before. He got the locks and stuff. They hang in his face. He's Nike Tech or whatever, and whatever. He's just a boy to me. But when he walks in, I can immediately see the teacher's face.
Yeah.
The stereotypical things they put on him, like, oh, he's gonna be a problem. He might even have his hood up. He might have his do-rag on still. Like, they got to tune him up, but he tunes himself up. I say, when you walk in the classroom, that all comes off.
Yeah.
Period. He's like, I know, I do. And so I can already see the teacher's face though when he walks into the classroom the first day of school, and they're like, oh yeah, he's coming. Then when he stands up and says his name, I tell him, always say your name with pride.
Yeah, man.
Tell people your name. Let them know who you are. Because if you don't let them know who you are, they're going to tell you who you are. And then when they tell you who you are, you're going to start believing what they tell you. So him, like I said, he's a straight A student, but you would not see it if you look at him directly. But when he starts talking, the intelligence comes out. Because I'm not raising no fool.
Yeah, man.
And any boys that come in contact with me, I'm not tolerating no foolishness. Like, they be across from me in a chair doing all this and doing all that. I'm like, hey, straighten up, tighten up. Like, you don't need all that. Keelan, no. I'll yell right across the way. Hey, tighten up, man. Stop all that. You too big for that.
Yeah.
I think it's access to examples.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's been lost. A lot of, when I was young, I really can't remember a day we didn't have company. at the house.
That's crazy.
I can't. Like, it's probably, I know there was some,
Yeah.
but I can't remember a day we didn't have company. And it was always an uncle, one of my dad's friends, something like that. But they were examples of guys that I liked to come around me. And what they would show, my uncle always on me. Boy, you better smell good. You know what I mean? I got all these colognes here. When you come visit, this is what I want you to wear. Tighten up your clothes. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you wear, but tighten up. Don't nothing. Everything better be in place. You better iron your clothes. You know what I'm saying? So you had examples of that in guys that was
Men.
They were men. They were, and they had swag themselves back in the day. My father was super charismatic. People wanted to be around him, so that's why we had company.
Yeah.
Cats like, nah, I need to hang with
Right,
Fahim.
right.
You know what I mean? So getting that from people, I don't think people have those uncles and friends coming over to the house no more. Like just talking to the son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That helps a lot. The son ain't always gonna listen to dad.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Even on emotional stuff, they're not always gonna do that. So they go if they have somebody that I'm telling you, I just gravitated towards cats like I enjoy how he talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, my man, he can play the piano. I wanna, maybe he could teach me something. You know what I'm saying? So having that example around of guys, you know what I mean, that helps with your emotional intelligence in the long run too, because you always seeing that example of a guy who might be charismatic, you know what I'm saying, might have something going on for themselves. You want to gravitate towards being like that and being, your posture being right, because you watch this guy always be like that. And it comes when this guy's getting the ladies too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's saying something. Those guys, those uncles and stuff, they didn't pull no punches with what they said to you. You know what I mean? They was teaching you real life lessons.
And the moms let them.
And the moms.
Yeah.
The moms
The
and
village.
the pops. It was really a village type of thing. So, you can stand to be corrected. And even if you got corrected by your pops and, caught a whooping and was crying, hey, yo, it's cool. But you was wrong about that.
Right.
So what you gonna do to next time when your pops get on you about that? Is it gonna happen again, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was always like some type of corrective criticism that you could take from another man that you really enjoyed his presence. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's happening like that anymore. Like even though we have mentors out there, just like you were saying, coaches and stuff, and you want to bring it into the adults, we had those. But some of these coaches nowadays ain't the coaches they were back in the day.
Yeah. I think for me, if I could touch on that, in a world where now I'm in a world where it's not that no more, And so what I say today is that I think it's important that if you're a man, you have to make sure you're being a man. You have to make sure that, like for myself, I thought it was important for me to put a woman in my life to create a balance for my children. And not just any woman, but the right woman to put in my children's life so they can see balance, so they can see male emotion, so they can see a woman's emotion, so they can have someone, because now we don't have company like that no more. So nobody's coming over to the house to visit. Not only because it's not the old days, but we're more protective and selective of who we allow to even be that person. And to be real with you, we're all busy and really dealing with life as men, and the men that we are around, that we allow in. So I think it's important to have if you're a man, have a woman who can give you that different energy inside your home, so a young boy can know what it's like to go talk to a woman, know what it's like to talk to a man, and then see how that man and woman interact with one another, and for them to carry that outside your household, and then they can spread that hopefully to their friends. And now we're changing what influence used to be, and we're creating something new, you know. And that's just the way my mind works, is that I have to have that. And I always preach that to even young women that I come across, you know, that you have to you can't just choose any man to be around. You can't just choose them for likes or looks or money or whatever it is that draws you to a man. I honestly think it's important that you ask any man, that a woman asks any man about his childhood and the way he was raised, because a lot of us get it from one side in our society, in our race, in our culture. We get it from one side, and that one side just so happens to be the most emotional side, and that's in a woman. So now this little dude out there getting locked up and lashing out, killing, shooting, thinking that he's being gangster and gutter, because he dealt with a woman's emotions all his life, and that's the only way he know how to express it. Just so happen you are strong, and you are headstrong, and ain't nobody gonna play with you like that, and you gonna be sure that you let somebody know that you know. And so I just feel like it's important to bring balance into your home, and bring balance around you at all times. Though there's really no such thing as we know balance.
That's right.
There's no really no such thing of that. But you gotta fight towards
get that rhythm going.
I like the word harmony.
Yeah,
harmony. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Harmony.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even to speak on what you said about a woman asking a man about his childhood, that's definitely both ways. I think,
yes.
I think everybody should do their due diligence. And I heard something real good. It says, even from a man's perspective, when dealing with a woman, always go to her childhood, because how she is today is a direct reflection of her childhood, and that's what you're always going to fight and deal with. Yeah. So when you want to pick, we always say every woman is crazy, so you pick your crazy.
Pick your crazy.
How you pick your crazy is figuring out what kind of crazy she dealt with growing up.
Yep.
And if knowing that, okay, I'll be able to actually handle this or deal with this. You know what I mean? We'll get ready to get out of here, but listen, I do want to touch on this one thing. This men's health. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my fellow musicians. Any of them jokers listening to this, even the ones, listen, no matter if you say you in the church as a musician and the world as a musician, and these jokers getting into church, being pastors too, and letting go of their weight. Stop doing that. That is not cool no more. That is so, like, when we was growing up, I feel like we see these jokers, man, they get into like, man, like, stop.
Sit up straight now.
Bruh, like, stop getting into certain things and letting go of yourself, and then you think it's like, stop doing that. So what I want to touch on
this dude here,
it's health. You know what I'm saying? Health. A really good, important piece to remember is because of the food that we eat, and because of the play with the emotions and feelings that this stuff has, sometimes it play with your man parts. And your man parts don't be acting right, and you got to be in there popping these different kind of pills.
Health is important.
If you look at how many of these joints, these Skittles, are now on the market that they promote. It's a reason why they all work hand in hand. Y'all jokers out here, and you can't, you know. One of the number one things you can do is start eating right. Right? Work out. If you're not gonna eat right, work out to combat that. Listen. And you don't need to go to a gym. Listen, if you can do three sets of 10 body squats to make sure that all this up in here is flowing right. You don't want this blood flow to get clogged up. You know what I'm saying? Like body squats, lunges.
We laughing, but that's so serious.
Wall sits,
man.
Like kettlebell swings.
So I can't eat The cheddar sour cream.
Man, you got to fall back a little
I
bit.
gotta fall back off that.
But you know what? You're right. Because you still on your regimen?
Nah, not like I was.
Ooh, man, you may need to fall back, man. You need to fall back a little bit. I don't know.
I eat, but I'm in that gym.
But you in the gym, so you're doing stuff to combat
30 to 45 minutes at least.
You
like
combating
minimum.
some of that you got blood flow.
And I've been starting to do my legs. We had that conversation before.
Listen. And for all those who don't know, listen. As we get older, you may decline a little bit, unless you dark skin. Like we don't really decline that much.
Neither does light skin.
Uh-huh.
Being that I'm the only light skinned brother on the doggone show, we don't either.
Hey,
I know I'm light bright. I can't look. I'm over here. I'm reflecting.
Just made it.
hey, but all your power though, it is right here though.
From the core to the legs.
Yep, your glutes and all this. So when it comes to your man piece and you performing, a lot of it is all here. You can research this and you will see if you stop working on the muscle that you use every day, which is your legs. If you stop strengthening them up front and back, you will lose production. Mm-hmm. You start shutting down like these GM plants and you don't want that. Okay, so make sure that you are working out. If you ain't doing nothing up here, work them legs out. So to make sure that you got the blood flow and that you're performing well, I promise you start working out and hit them legs. Don't skip leg day. I promise you will see a big difference. You'll feel like you're 20 years old again. For all y'all 20-year-olds, man, just maintain your body, stay in good health, man. Decent. You don't need to be in there 5-6 days a week like some of us. You know what I mean? But start taking care of yourself. Even for like entrepreneurs fall back on that a lot too. You know what I mean? Like find the time to take care of your body, your temple. You only got one. Like take care of it. I'm not the greatest of eaters.
The eating is definitely a struggle for me.
People think they look at me like, oh, I eat like trash. I just, number one, genetics. Number two, I am always in the gym. You know what I mean? And I do the intermittent fast and I do weird things, but
I don't eat meat at all, man.
nah.
At all.
Bro, that's good. I tried it. I accomplished it for about 2 months before, a couple years ago, and then I had a burger, and then I ain't went back.
Yeah. But I did away with it, man. I'm about 3 years in. I did a year pescatarian.
Okay.
And then I wanted to up the level. I'm vegetarian though. I really can't get rid of my cheese, man. I can't. I like my cheese, man. It's like I gotta have
cheese
some taste.
and the dairy and stuff like that. I gotta have my eggs.
Man, listen.
With the cheese on the eggs.
I just ain't built for vegan. Like I ain't built for vegan.
Yeah,
like I'm not built for that. But
I might be able to let meat go, but pause. But but I ain't let go of that dairy.
I can't let go. Like I can't let it go fully. Like I let some dairy go, but But he right, man. You got to take care of yourself, man. And I definitely got a gym journey. Even, what it does to your mind. Like mental health. Literally working out, balance out. That harmonizes.
Harmony.
Harmonize. Like it harmonizes the mental health, man. Like So I feel like you have to do it. It changes you. Preferably me. It's the first thing in the morning type of deal. That's what I would go with. Yeah, as a morning thing, man. If you can do it, and that's all a part of, chasing the highest elevation of self. And to this point, before I end here, I think what I would say last to everyone is that, man, nobody chasing the highest elevation of self are out of sync. We all do the same thing in our own ways. Yeah. So when someone of a higher level than yourself and you're able to admit that they are at a higher level than yourself, take the notes. Yeah, man. Take the notes, man, because we do the same thing and the community of us who does it have the same results, man. Yeah. So just take it.
Listen, my pops used to say this when he was alive. You just say, eat the meat, throw away the bones. So if some of the stuff does not pertain to you or you can't use it, those the bones, throw it away. But for the stuff that you can use, what'd you say? Eat the meat. Eat the meat. But like eat the meat, throw away the bones. Pause. You know what I mean? Pause again. Yeah.
I mean, even that. I mean, look at that influence, man. Like that the TikTokers
Right, yeah.
That particular pause,
man.
pause, no homo and all that stuff. Like, listen, we all are definitely heterosexual men, and we don't have to even really
say that.
Like I said that around my dad one time. He was like, "What'd you just say?" I was like, "Nothing." Man.
Oh, you gonna get it big time in the barbershop?
Oh man, pause. And I'd be like, "No, play." Like married with children. I don't got time for no funny business.
Yeah.
Listen,
Hey, for sure.
hey, this talk could go on forever. We gonna keep this talk going too, man. We gonna do this more regularly when we're getting the fellas together because there's so many topics and things that we could touch on.
So much, man.
But I appreciate y'all fellas for having this conversation, being open and sharing. You know, to y'all out there, we definitely gonna have more of this. We'll have more fellas, same fellas, different things going on to make sure that we're kind of, sharing our stories, showing what helped us, what helps us, things that we go through, things that we went through. I think something that I'm doing this year, like I'm taking like the whole busy, because we do get busy, right? I got to find time to be unbusy to make sure that the things I should have prioritized in my life, you know, I got 6 kids, so like,
dang, man,
making sure that I got 6, and as hands on as I am, like there are times where it's just like, all right, you need to fall back because maybe something is said by one of them, and you're like, all right, so we can't always continue to use the excuse of busy, because part of providing, right, as a man, providing is making sure we provide that time. And we can't really pour into them if we ain't got the time to pour into them, or if we too tired. So we definitely got to do that.
That's true.
But fellas, I appreciate y'all. Till next time, play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
My man.